everyone, my name is Jessica Gibson from Kaleidoscopes and Polka Dots, and today I am here to do a book review of one of my favorite books of 2014. We're in 2015, Jess. We're in 2015. I read it in 2015, but it was published in 2014. How's that? Yes, that's better. Okay, and the book I'm talking about is The Book of Unknown Americans by Cristina Enriquez. Oh my goodness. This book touched my heart in so many ways. The book is about immigrants, Hispanic immigrants who made their way from their native countries to the United States. They all somehow ended up in the same apartment complex in Delaware. Now, we mainly follow the stories of Alma, a Mexican woman who moved her family from Mexico to Delaware because she has a young daughter who had a bit of an accident in Mexico, a serious accident in Mexico, and so now she needs developmental help, and she found it in this school, or this school was recommended to her by one of the physicians at home, so that's why they made their way here. The other narrative is Mayor. Mayor is a 15-year-old boy who moved here when he was very young, so he doesn't very well remember Panama as much as everybody else around him seems to. He feels more American than he does Panamanian, but when he goes to school, he's constantly reminded that he's different and that he isn't American. So if he's neither or, what is he? That is a struggle that I think a lot of us who have the same journey experience. I certainly connected with Mayor, but in between the different narratives between Mayor and Alma, you get stories of the various residents of the apartment complex. Each has a very unique story. They all share the Spanish language in common, and you get to know them. Warning, there is a story about rape, so just wanted to throw that out. What really touched me was Alma's story, because from an older person's perspective, somebody who has already lived quite a life and chooses to uproot it and move somewhere else in pursuit of something better, grander, or just stable, is quite intriguing to me. So to uproot my life and move somewhere else and start afresh just seems so crazy and so courageous. I started really thinking about all the struggles that my mom must have gone through. She left behind a career as a teacher in Mexico. That was her life's ambition, and she pursued something new, something different, something scary, and that is amazing to me. Mom, I love you, and thank you for being so courageous. So, with that said, this book really gave me a sense of pride. So let me share with you one of the most intriguing stories. It's towards the end of it, and it's from Micho Alvarez, a photographer who lives in the apartment complex. I came from Mexico, but there's a lot of people here who, when they hear that, they think I crawled out of hell. They hear Mexico and they think bad, devil, I don't know. They got some crazy ideas. Any of them ever been to Mexico? And if they say, yeah, I went to Acapulco back in the day, or I went to Cancun, papi, that shit don't count. You went to a resort? Congratulations. But you didn't go to Mexico. And that's the problem, you know? We're the unknown Americans, the ones that no one even wants to know, because they've been told they're supposed to be scared of us. And because maybe if they did take the time to get to know us, they might realize that we're not that bad. Maybe even that we're a lot like them. And who would they have to hate then? It's fucked up. The whole thing is very complicated. I mean, does anyone ever talk about why people are crossing? I can promise you it's not with some grand ambition to come here and ruin everything for the gringo chingaos. People are desperate, man. We're talking about people who can't even get a toilet that works. And a government is so corrupted that when they have money, instead of sharing it, instead of using it in ways that would help their own citizens, they hold on to it and encourage people to go north instead. Whew. When I first read that, I was in tears. I just thought, I know it. And somehow I forgot about it. As you can tell, it's written in a very colloquial way, and I think a lot of people will really love the way that it's written. whether or not you're a Hispanic immigrant, I think a lot of you will find something of interest in the book. So on Goodreads, somebody noted that it's filled of sentimentality and simple language that nobody really can relate to. It's the first review and it has the most likes, and I just think that he just didn't relate to anybody, and I feel a bit sad about that. I think had it been written in any other way, it wouldn't have been as relatable and it wouldn't have been as powerful. And I think the content in itself is just delivered so beautifully, and I think everybody should give it a shot because there's so much more to it than just the novel. And the main novel actually is a story about Mayor falling in love with Maribel, and story of the struggle of living in the United States when you're running out of money and having to go through the hardship of making lemonade out of lemons. Alright guys, so that is it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you've read the book, let me know what you've thought about it. Did you think that it needed more depth as far as character development? Because I thought it did it beautifully. I really enjoyed it. I felt like I was sitting at my abuelita's house drinking some hot chocolate and some tamales while reading this. I just love this book, and that's why I gave it 5 to 5 stars. So if you're interested, please read it. I would love to hear from you once you read it, what you thought of it. And if you've already read it, let me know what you thought, if you connected to it. Did you think that it needed more or less or what? I would love to know. Alright guys, so until next time, I will see you very soon, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!